about Echo, because now that we're talking about Disney and Marvel, because Echo's going all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that'll have the same effect as having a movie release, where it's like it'll dominate a little bit of conversation period, and then we're just gonna have nothing to continue to talk about Marvel related until what, Deadpool comes out.
I'm curious how that will affect things because obviously Netflix gave us the binge feeling
Yeah.
so that we now kind of expect that. So when it is week to week, we're almost disappointed. Like, wait, what? I can't watch it all at once.
Right.
But it does create that longevity. And frankly, you have to subscribe to that service for that length of time if
Right.
you want to watch it the day it comes out.
Right.
HBO was famous with this with The Sopranos.
Mhm.
Their subscriptions went up when The Sopranos was being produced and in stream or in showing. And then when it wasn't, meaning that season was over, their subscriptions fell.
Right.
That was a huge example of that. But that was pre-Netflix,
Mhm.
pre-popularity of Netflix. Do not send me emails that, oh my God, no, they were still mailing stuff out. Fine. But I am curious to see what Disney will learn from this. I'm also curious, they will never release this, but I'm curious to see the effect of releasing like the Marvels, and
Mhm.
don't comment on whether you like it or not, but releasing Marvels in theaters, and we can go see that. But then you have the opportunity to go watch all this other stuff that led up to the Marvels on their streaming services because
Right.
it's there whenever you want it.
Right.
And I'm curious to see, did those numbers bump up? Was there zero effect? Did they
Right.
actually see a downturn in their streaming Marvel stuff? I don't know. And I wish we would have more of that information.
Yeah, I think streaming services being more transparent in general would help the culture understand, at least filmmakers and people that are actually creating these shows and movies. Because if they can understand analytics and start to look at how this marketing strategy or this like way of marketing or this way of telling the story impacts the entire overall narrative, I think that's going to help us tell better stories. Because you say, for example, you think that you're wasting time watching, or people think that they're wasting time learning more about these characters, and like the Marvels is a perfect example. Like no one watched Miss Marvel, or like people say that they didn't watch Miss Marvel. They don't understand that Spectrum or Monica Rambeau's from WandaVision.
Exactly.
They didn't know, like maybe they had seen Captain Marvel, but only in like Endgame. So when you get to go explore all of this, it makes all of these worth it in the long run because you created a payoff here. And I think that's a strategy that's very bold, but it allows you to have a very rich lore. And I think that's why I'm okay with them creating all of these TV shows, but I want them to feel like they're actually trying to move the narrative forward instead of just telling a story to tell a story.
I agree with that. And I think one of the problems that Marvel is running into is they've really created this comic book feel to everything they've created since the first Iron Man, in that their comic books 1960 with Marvel that you can go back to and read if you want, or you don't have to. Doesn't matter. They're just there. And I feel like Marvel has transferred that to visual media, whether it's a movie or TV show, where you can go get all this information that's there. One of my favorite is the werewolf one they did, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to see that to understand a thing, but oh my God, what is it? It was amazing to get a different perspective of what Marvel can do.
Right.
That's no different than what the comic books are. There are a million comic books. We watched that thing on Agatha.
Yeah.
And WandaVision, and how they're doing the follow up with Wiccan sort of theories and stuff. I don't know any of that from the comic books, but you know what? That's okay.
Right.
I'll be able to go watch the TV show whenever I want and check it out.
Right.
It's almost like having these back issues that you can catch up and do things. That's phenomenal. And the fact that they've been able to capture that, which really hasn't been done before